Tap rooms are localized and they're geographic. The Hispanic community is much broader than one tap room. So what we decided to do was come out with a high quality craft beer, 2 high quality craft beers that appeal to the Hispanic taste and that we can distribute in all the Hispanic neighborhoods. Taino is a very light, refreshing beer. It's a social beer that you can drink probably for a good part of the evening, and it'll give you a nice light feeling. It's not a heavy beer, it's very airy, and it's very light. It's a 4.5 alcohol, which is low for beer. The Boricua is a 6.0. Now that's a stronger beer, and we designed it to be a little bit stronger than Heineken. Heineken is a favorite in the Hispanic community, so we have a little bit more muscle than Heineken. Boricua right now, in a very short amount of time, it's been a miracle for us because we've gotten a large range of acceptance at the retail level. We're in Publix, we're in ABC, Target is picking it up, we're in Sedano's, we're in Bravo's, 7-Elevens are picking it up because they're concentrating more on craft beer and the Hispanic market. So what we're trying to do is do a quality beer, a high quality beer, more taste, and that the Hispanic community will like.
Mira, ¿dónde tú estás?
Ya estoy aquí, mi vida. ¿Pero qué están tomando?
¿Pero por qué?
Porque me traje lo nuevo y diferente, Taino Light Boricua Beer. Y lo más importante es que es lo nuevo y acabadita de salir al mercado.
¿Y saben buenas?
Claro, ambas cervezas tienen los mismos beneficios que una copa de vino. Con menos calorías. La Boricua Beer 6%, fuerte pero con sabor. Y la Taino Light 4.5% y es artesanal.
Eso me gusta. Somos familia, calidad y sabor.
Visita boricuabeer.com.
Hola Florida, introducing Boricua Beer and Taino Light Beer. Boricua and Taino Light are crafted beers that are rich in flavors and brewed right here in Florida. Taino beer has a crisp, refreshing Caribbean flavor style when enjoyed chilled. Boricua beer is a craft ale with full body flavor that is a beer drinker's beer. Boricua and Taino Light Beers, enjoy responsibly.
Hi, I'm Jose Miranda. This is Hispanic Speak Out TV, brought to you each week on Spectrum TV on channel 194. So stay tuned. We also have 2 other programs, EDU TV with Mr. Perkins, and of course Latino Role Model, which follows directly behind us. And before I leave, in the last couple of minutes, I want you to know that this show does not run just by me, by myself, but it runs by my little pilgrims on the other side of this phone, on this camera here, who direct and show me how to do. And I want to invite them on the camera. I want them to invite them on the camera. Come on, guys. Come up here. This is my crew. Come on, come on. This is my crew. These are the guys that help me do the things. I've had Andrew, and I have Yasina. And this what makes me good. I want to wish you a happy holiday from all of us to all of you, and stay tuned for the interview.
I am for the child who's had 7 addresses in a single year because she's in foster care, because her father abused her, and her mother couldn't believe her. She is the child I am for. I am a volunteer child advocate. I am you.
Florida residents call toll-free 866-341-1425.
Welcome back. I'm Jose Miranda. This is Hispanic Speak Out to you, brought to you on Spectrum on channel 194 each Tuesday night starting at 9:30. We also have shows before us and behind us, EDU TV with Fred Perkins and Latino Role Models, which follows directly behind us. As you know, we talk politics, we talk education, we talk everything across the board. This is towards the end of the year, and I wanted to have a conversation about what was and what may be going forward in the political guise of things. And I could think of no other person that I would enjoy having that conversation with than former legislator and Commissioner Fred Brummer. Sir.
It's good to be on your show, Mr. Miranda.
Thank you for coming.
Much for the invitation.
And you have your own practice as well,
yes, sir.
Doing finances and stuff.
Yep, we're a full service CPA firm there in Popkin.
And I will point out to the audience, I met you as a little cub reporter for the Sun Times, I believe, and I saw you speaking in Pine Hills, here in the state of Florida, and I was just, you had me. I was a fan right from that point on.
That's kind of you to say that.
You know, I've never saw, other than in pictures or something like that, to see a guy do away with the microphone, stand in front of the podium, take off his jacket, and speak to the people. And I thought that was incredible because that's not done anymore.
Well, it needs to be. It needs to be. I apologize for being an old-fashioned politician, but the way I've been successful is go knock on people's doors, stick out my hand, say, I'm Fred Brummer, I'm running to be your county commissioner, or I'm running to be your state legislator, and I would appreciate your consideration. I'm here to ask for your vote. I mean, and 20 years ago, right, almost 20 years ago, and I started doing it, and still people say to me, I'm leaving a Publix or on my way someplace, or some event, they say, you knocked on my door when you were running, and people remember it because people don't do that anymore. They don't, but all it is on TV. Vote for me. I'm a wonderful person.
Right, and that's something. And like I said, it's always left an impression.
I appreciate you saying that.
And I would tell any young journalist or anyone who wanted to know about politics, you would have the Fred Brummer course 101 to take.
I am proud of being willing to share that with people that are willing to go out there and ask for people's vote.
We've had this election that's been very controversial. I mean, I want to say, from the aspect of what I look at it, I feel like it's tearing the country, or it has torn the country apart, and pretty much along party lines, it looks like. How do we start to mend?
The tearing has been much longer than this election. As sad and as dreadful as this election has been, and has, we have riots after I remember several months ago, and the question, the pundits saying, well, when Trump loses, and they didn't say if, they said when Trump loses, there's going to be riots in the street. Well, election is over, there's riots in the street, but Trump didn't lose. And so it's, the polarization that we see today is worse than the polarization that we saw when Bill Clinton was elected. It's worse than the polarization that we saw when Ronald Reagan was elected. It continues to escalate. And like you, I am very worried about that.
Right.
It continues to grow worse. So
they say it's been, like you said, this is kind of the fruition of where it came to, okay? But it's been happening for over 40 years, a breakdown. And people haven't been paying attention to it. So why haven't we paid attention to it?
The issue is that we notice it every 4 years, occasionally every 2 years. When the off presidential year elections go on, we see it. But the focus is, for one thing, the next presidential election is going to start in a few weeks. I mean, believe it or not, people are going to be, people on the Democrat side are going to be lining up to run against the president-elect, right after the inauguration. And that was not the way it was when I was growing up. You started a campaign in January and you finished in November. Now it's, not January, it's not the January before, it's 3 Januaries before the actual election. And so that's part of it. It gets more challenging, more nasty. And so folks focus on a particular political philosophy of one side or the other, and that is the issue, and that magnifies it. And it's developed now that it's not that you're on this side on the issue, I'm on that side on the issue. Now it's you're on that side of the issue, so I have to hate you for that.
Sure.
And that is political discourse, okay, where you and I, on different sides of an issue, can talk about an issue, can discuss an issue. That's and be civil.
Right.
That's going the way of the way of the dodo bird. It's just it's becoming extinct.
Well, I have a philosophy that I think we should have no parties. without walls.
You are the board. You are the politics without borders founders. You are the person that first gave me that phrase, and I promise you, I use that phrase now.
So, taking that into mind, how do we go forward to build something that's going to work for everybody?
Well, it is working. It is happening. It is happening. When 20 years ago, December 1998, in the district in which I ran, independents were about 27%. And today, that number is higher, and it continues to grow. And it continues to grow because there are so many people, such as yourself, who, irrespective of their political philosophy, they are embarrassed to be identified with the Democrat Party or with the Republican Party.
Right.
And as we continue to grow that number of no party affiliation, those folks that are called independents, no party affiliation, I believe we're going to have to evolve our elective system so that it is easier for no party affiliation candidates to be on the ballot and to have.
And I'm not even talking about independence. I'm just flat out no party.
Right, and understand that there is an independent party in Florida. So some folks who want to be no party affiliation actually wind up registering in an independent party. But no party affiliation, the number of people that are registered not in the Republican Party, not in the Democrat Party, continues to grow every year. And it's I believe, because of that substantial lack of civil discourse between the two parties. Unfortunately now, it's the hatred. It is the hatred that is growing between Democrats and Republicans, people on the left and people on the right.
Unfortunately, that is the truth. I have to cut it there. At that time, we run out of time. Fred, thank you as always.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Happy New Year, sir.
And
all the best
have
to
a
you.
prosperous New Year yourself.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm Jose Miranda. This has been Hispanic Speak Out TV. We'll see you again next time.
Tap rooms are localized and they're geographic. The Hispanic community is much broader than one tap room. So what we decided to do was come out with a high-quality craft beer, 2 high-quality craft beers that appeal to the Hispanic taste and that we can distribute in all the Hispanic neighborhoods. Taino is a very light, refreshing beer. It's a social beer that you can drink probably for a good part of the evening, and it'll give you a nice light feeling. It's not a heavy beer, it's very airy, and it's very light. It's a 4.5 alcohol, which is low for beer. The Boricua is a 6.0. Now that's a stronger beer, and we designed it to be a little bit stronger than Heineken. Heineken is a favorite in the Hispanic community, so we have a little bit more muscle than Heineken. Boricua right now, in a very short amount of time, it's been a miracle for us because we've gotten a large range of acceptance at the retail level. We're in Publix, we're in ABC, Target is picking it up, we're in Sedano's, we're in Bravo's, 7-Elevens are picking it up because they're concentrating more on craft beer and the Hispanic market. So what we're trying to do is do a quality beer, a high quality beer, more taste, and that the Hispanic community will like.
Mira, ¿dónde tú estás?
Ya estoy aquí, mi vida. ¿Pero qué están tomando?
¿Pero por qué?
Porque te traje lo nuevo y diferente, Taino Light Boricua Beer. Y lo más importante es que es lo nuevo y acabadita de salir al mercado.
¿Y saben buenas?
Claro, ambas cervezas tienen los mismos beneficios que una copa de vino. Con menos calorías, la Boricua Beer 6%, fuerte pero con sabor. Y la Taino Light 4.5% y es artesanal.
Eso es. Somos familia, calidad y sabor.
Visita boricuabeer.com.
Hola Florida, introducing Boricua Beer and Taino Light Beer. Boricua and Taino Light are crafted beers that are rich in flavors and brewed right here in Florida. Taino beer has a crisp, refreshing Caribbean flavor style when enjoyed chilled. Boricua beer is a craft ale with full body flavor that is a beer drinker's beer. Boricua and Taino Light beers, enjoy responsibly.
Now. It is the kind of weekend where an ice-cold beverage is probably the thing you want. A local businessman launching his own craft beer company, and he's targeting Hispanic customers. He's at the Sentinel today to tell us more about this new beer. Caitlin.
Yeah, so actually you took the words out of my mouth, Andre. I was thinking whether a nice weekend means maybe a nice cold brewski. And I actually have Kyle Arnold, who's our restaurant and retail reporter in-house. And Kyle, you know, craft beer is a trend, but it seems that we have one local brewer taking it to sort of the next step. And let's talk about Boricua craft beer and Taino beer, which is like sort of its lighter sister beer. So talk to me about those two products.
Yeah, exactly. It was a beer that was launched here a couple months ago by a local company at Altamont Springs. Danny Ramos is running it. It's being produced up in Cape Canaveral at Florida Beer Company. And it is a beer that is, you know, hoping the Boricua name means Puerto Rican. There's a huge population of Puerto Ricans here, hoping that he can, you know, create a connection between those people to get his name out.
So when I think of craft beer, you know, I think it certainly targets a specific audience, but he's taking it a step further. Can you elaborate more on why target the Hispanic population?
Yeah, there's like 500,000 Hispanics in this area. About half of those are Puerto Ricans, and a lot of Puerto Ricans and a lot of Hispanics are in that millennial age group, just like the rest of the country. And those people are kind of disregarding the beers their parents grew up with, and they want local beers. They want things that cater a little bit more to their taste, a little bit higher quality, and they're willing to pay for it.
Sure. And so, where locally can we find this?
There's a couple Publix around town in some of the bigger Hispanic pockets of town. Sedanos, Bravos. There's a bunch of 7-Elevens. You can find them almost at all the ABC wine and spirits. They have a pretty big craft beer selection.
Excellent. And so I know this isn't the only brewery or brewer looking to target this market. Who else is popping up, nationally?
Yeah, there's some companies out of like Southern California, like Ohana Brewing. There's some other ones. What's really interesting about Boricua is I really haven't found many others that target Hispanics specifically. And you already see that done in the mass beer market with Corona.
Exactly.
Dos Equis things. Mexico's a pretty big beer market. But in terms of Americans, they've really kept it general so far, either localities like Orlando Brewing or Fat Tire, just a generic term out of Colorado.
Excellent. And I just want to know, what has the reception been? If it's only been launched for a few months, what's the kind of feedback you're getting on this?
It's doing pretty well in some restaurants around town, especially some like Puerto Rican restaurants that they really only offer, some of the big international beers, Heineken and things like that. They bring in a local beer. It says craft brew. It's got a local tie to it, and people want to try it, especially tourists from out of town. They want to, see what the local flavor is, and so far it's been good.
Excellent. So we have a local entrepreneur, a local brewer here, targeting a very specific market within a larger market. So we'll just have to see how Boricua goes from here. But if we're seeing all these temperatures, I myself might crack one this weekend.
I think you should, Caitlin. Cheers to that. What a terrific idea.
Cheers.
All right.
Thanks for watching this video. You can watch Orlando News Now every weekday on OrlandoSentinel.com. We go live at noon. See you then.
Hi, I'm Jose Miranda, and this is our segment where we get to speak to you about what's going on in the world around Orlando, around things that are in general. There's been a lot, and I'm being joined by my co-host,
Bill Garlington,
Greg Perkins
of EDU TV, and Bill is a contributor as well to the network. A lot of things have going on, fellas. Let me start out with this is towards the end of the year, okay? And so let's sum up the year a little bit. It's been a year that's kind of rocked everybody. Let's start with the elections and stuff like that. It's my contention, it's contention of most of the people out there, that this election wasn't supposed to be. I think Mr. Trump has responded. I don't think him or his group thought he had a chance to win. And I think that he is responding in kind now, trying to make up by gathering different folks to him. A lot of these folks are controversial. So I'll start out with you, Bill, as you're more conservative than the rest of the panel here. So what do you think about the types of picks that he's bringing in?
Well, as a conservative, I like the picks thus far. I believe that for the last 8 years, being on the other side of the fence, that the Obama administration took our country far more left than I would like it. So I do believe that Donald Trump is showing that he is, in his conservative approach of bringing people like Rice Primus as his chief of staff, some generals in some key positions that are more, I wouldn't say hawkish, but they're more of a toe the line, that, draw the red line. So I'm pleased right now overall with the picks thus far.
Greg, I see a little hesitation on your part, my brother. So,
First of all, Trump is not a conservative. He's a lot of things, but he is not a conservative. His lifestyle is not even that of a conservative. We're looking at, what, 3 guys from Goldman Sachs. Does that sound like that's going to help the little man? Goldman Sachs, that bank runs the world, okay? You got 3 guys from there. And we got all these generals in there. Smart guys, I have no problem with that. But my God, bankers and generals and millionaires and billionaires, how? Those guys are super rich. They are so separated from the average person that voted from them. I don't know what people can possibly think that this guy's actually going to reach out and help them.
Well, if I could respond to Greg's, we don't want to put Billy Bob, Thornton and run the daggone.
Why not?
Because to get the economy churning, you need some people.
Churning? Are you kidding me?
May I finish? To get these people churning to the economy is you got to have smart people. I'm not really opposed to Goldman Sachs. I mean, as long as they have the resume, at the end of the day, don't we want to put more money in our pocket? And if he can create jobs, I mean, what's so funny about the left is you guys are convicting him or wanting to impeach this guy before he even takes office.
Your poor baby.
I tell you what,
I feel for you.
after 4 years when you got more green in your pocket, then you come back.
I'm sorry, this is an economy that's been growing, that has grown in over 40 years.
4.9% unemployment, the Dow almost at 20,000. Are you kidding me? Wages, folks, these are facts I'm saying. Obama, his approval rate is over 50%. They can never say anything about Trump without throwing Obama in there. Lowest unemployment rate, brought all those troops home from the war, and they keep saying that.
And the most money in your pocket right now.
Yeah. And they keep saying like something's wrong with the economy. There's nothing wrong with the United States before Trump came along. We were great, and we are great even before he ran.
And
Get out of here with that crap, man.
And I'll point out to you also your generals that you find so. They have some baggage with them,
We all have baggage.
Well, this is more important. We're talking about
Clinton baggage. Called emails.
Secrets, emails that you have
Clinton Foundation.
You have no knowledge what those emails were about.
WikiLeaks supports that there was knowledge of them lying and talking about Bernie Sanders.
Shows that the Russians were behind planned leaks, and
There's
we don't
no
know.
proof that the
yes,
Russians.
yes, there is. There's plenty of proof.
Well, okay,
there is plenty of proof.
There may be proof that the Russians possibly hacked it. However, there was no proof that John Podesta and all these other liberals that were caught red-handed throughout the emails that were trying to rig the election to get Bernie Sanders not to become.
That has nothing to do with the stuff that's been brought into the equation there by the Russians deliberately looking for an outcome when they wanted to deal with Trump, period.
Trump has 2 generals. No, a general. What's that one guy, right? This guy received an award from Putin. That's the guy who's going to be the Secretary of State. And the only reason, folks, this is a fact. This guy works for Exxon. There is a $500 billion deal out there because the U.S. has sanctions on Russia. That Trump has elected that guy to go in there to remove the sanctions so Exxon can make a lot of money. And when Trump's out of office, this guy can give Trump kids some money and some job opportunities.
Let me clarify
it's
that
all
a little bit.
money.
That is an Exxon executive that has only had a job with Exxon, all right, who had initiated a deal with the Kremlin worth in excess of $500 billion, okay? The deal crashed because we put an embargo because
when they invaded that country.
Right, when they took the Ukraine, all right? So subsequently, the deal was squashed, but he still received a medal behind it. So now that he becomes the Secretary of State, he can lift that embargo. Thus, I'm just saying, thus he can get back to the $500 billion.
He can get paid. That's called being paid.
It's out there as a controversy.
Let me just clarify. The American people out there, Greg and Jose have a point about the economy doing well. Only you, the American public, knows if you're doing well. So look into your pocket, look into your bank account, and at the end of the day, after 8 years of Obama, if you think that this economy is robust and that you're going to be crappy now moving forward, you have every right to, be upset. But I believe that in the next 4 years, you're going to have more dollars in your pocket. You're going to be better off.
And is that based on the Dream Book itself?
It doesn't matter if it's based upon reality.
How about the Courier deal that he did? 1,000 jobs.
Listen, I'm not happy with John Kerry as our Secretary of State. I wasn't happy with Hillary Clinton as our Secretary of State. And now we're talking about this ExxonMobil guy. I don't care. As long as he keeps us safe, as long as he keeps putting money in my pocket, I'm good.
Breathe. It's just okay. Breathe. Okay. I'm talking about the air conditioning guy, Courier, and who he said he saved 1,100 jobs. The head of the union disputes that.
Who cares? If he saved 1,100, 1,400.
Why does he have to lie about it, Bill? Why can't he just say the right number?
Listen.
No, there's a big difference between 1,100 and 750.
This is calling the kettle black. Lying Hillary Clinton.
Are you applying something?
Why would lying Hillary? Because this was the person that Democratic people ran against Trump. So in other words, what we're trying to say is if you don't like Donald Trump liberals, you should have put somebody else instead of Hillary Rodham Clinton.
You didn't answer Jose's question.
What's your question?
Are we talking about the 1,100 saved jobs that are fictitious to begin with? And that the remainder of the jobs, the majority of the jobs, are still going to Mexico. And he took money from Indiana in the millions, and still took it and is leaving town. What do you think about that?
And Kerry's still going to Mexico.
This is what I'm going to say. At the end of his 4 terms, if the deficit is at $21 trillion, if it's above $21 trillion deficit, I'm going to have a problem with Donald Trump.
You're going to leave the country? Promise you're going to leave the country.
If it's lower than $21 trillion, that means he's cutting the federal government some way, somehow.
On that note, as much as I would like to see keep blowing up, I'm Jose Miranda. This is the panel.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us to all of you.
Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, and Merry Christmas.
We'll see you again, same time, same station.
Mira, ¿dónde tú estás?
Ya estoy aquí, mi vida. ¿Pero qué están tomando?
¿Pero por qué?
Porque te traje lo nuevo y diferente, Taíno Light Boricua Beer. Y lo más importante es que es lo nuevo y acabadita de salir al mercado.
¿Y saben buenas?
Claro, ambas cervezas tienen los mismos beneficios que una copa de vino. Con menos calorías, la Boricua Beer 6%, fuerte pero con sabor. Y la Taíno Light 4.5% y es artesanal.
Eso me gusta. Somos familia, calidad y sabor.
Visita boricuabeer.com.
Hola Florida, introducing Boricua Beer and Taíno Light Beer. Boricua and Taíno Light are crafted beers that are rich in flavors and brewed right here in Florida. Taíno beer has a crisp, refreshing Caribbean flavor style when enjoyed chilled. Boricua beer is a craft ale with full body flavor that is a beer drinker's beer. Boricua and Taíno Light beers. Enjoy responsibly.
I am for the child who's had 7 addresses in a single year because she's in foster care, because her father abused her, and her mother couldn't believe her. She is the child I am for. I am a volunteer child advocate. I am you.
Florida residents call toll-free 866-341-1425.
Mira, ¿dónde tú estás?
Ya estoy aquí, mi vida. ¿Pero qué están tomando?
¿Pero por qué?
Porque me traje lo nuevo y diferente, Taíno Light Boricua Beer. Y lo más importante es que es lo nuevo y acabadita de salir al mercado.
¿Y saben buenas?
Claro, ambas cervezas tienen los mismos beneficios que una copa de vino, con menos calorías. La Boricua Beer 6%, fuerte pero con sabor. Y la Taíno Light 4.5% y es artesanal.
Eso es. Somos familia, calidad y sabor.
Visita boricuabeer.com.
Hola Florida, introducing Boricua Beer and Taíno Light Beer. Boricua and Taíno Light are crafted beers that are rich in flavors and brewed right here in Florida. Taíno beer has a crisp, refreshing Caribbean flavor style when enjoyed chilled. Boricua beer is a craft ale with full body flavor that is a beer drinker's beer. Boricua and Taíno Light beers, enjoy responsibly.